to the Successful Bookkeeper Summit. I'm absolutely delighted to be here to share some ideas and strategies that I know have the potential to make your business a thriving success. So let's talk about the secret to thriving and not just surviving. I believe if we cultivate our existing client relationships to generate more revenue and not more work, that is what holds the potential to achieving our dreams. My name is Leanne Scott. I'm a founder, wife and mom, wine lover, change maker. I'm originally from South Africa, but I currently live in the Lake District in the UK. I've been running small businesses for the last 20 years, and my passions are in marketing, human behavior, and systems automation. My first business was probably when I was about 10 years old, and I went and took my mom's leftover dressmaking fabric to make hair scrunchies. I sewed them and took them down to the market. I even got a friend to do some of the work with me and paid her. So probably my first experience of being an employer. Anyway, since then, I've definitely moved on. I was a copywriter, and as digital marketing has evolved over the last few years, I've really progressed further into web development, marketing strategy, specializing in email marketing, and really, how do we actually drive behavior? How do we trigger the human behavior that we really want? And with everything that I do, I have one kind of core mission that keeps me moving forward, that really informs all my decisions, and that's to create a world where small business owners are dreaming up ways to innovate and not lying awake worrying about how to survive. Small business owners are really the backbone of every economy across the world. And so we really need to support them and help them to achieve their dreams, because by them achieving their dreams, it's making the world a better place. So let's take a moment and really look at what the small business owner is facing. Every year, $1 trillion is lost to late payments or non-payment. Up to $74 billion every year is written off because people just don't pay. That's a lot of money. That's just short of 10%. And for many business owners, that's all their profit margin. They're spending $54 billion a year chasing money that's already owed to them. But there's a darker side that many business owners don't want to discuss. And that's the impact that late payments have on their mental health. 76% of SMEs interviewed say that they have experienced chronic stress, insomnia, anxiety, and that ultimately it impacts their personal relationships, their family life. This isn't right, and there is something that you and I can do about it. 52 days a year is lost on productivity. It's spent, those 52 days are spent chasing money, are spent getting their business admin in order, and not spent on fee earning activities. Can you imagine what it would be like to add an extra 52 days of productivity into your own business? Well, I'd like to talk about ways that we can help your clients to achieve that. And by helping them achieve that, we're helping you to grow your own business. So during my time working with small businesses, I've come to the conclusion that there are 3 essential ingredients to a thriving business. And those are, number 1, you need an automated way to nurture new leads. You need to be able to take a potential customer from never knowing who you are to wanting to buy your services again and again. And it takes up to 22 touch points to actually get to that point. So you need an automated way to make them feel cared for, to make them feel engaged, but not to give you more work, because 22 touch points is a lot if you're doing it manually. Then the second ingredient that I feel every business should be leveraging, and that is recurring and passive income streams. Never having to worry about paying the bills at the end of the month allows you to think strategically. And in the world we live in today, there are so many opportunities to take advantage of this. And I'm going to show you a few later on in the presentation. And then, of course, we need to take advantage of clever technology to ensure that we're getting paid fairly for the work that we do, but that we are still maintaining customer relationships. And that's the biggest worry that small business owners have, and why they don't chase the money, and why so much money gets lost to late payments or non-payment. But of course, we're here to talk about you. And I believe that bookkeepers have got dreams too. You're not just about the numbers. You want to have a meaningful impact on your clients' businesses. You want to see them succeed. You want to create a thriving culture within your own teams or your own family. You want to be able to provide, and you want to be able to grow beyond selling hours for dollars. And I know that you want to make enough money to achieve those dreams that you have, whether it's buying a house, going on a big opportunity of a lifetime holiday. I know that there's things that you want to do, and that's why we all work, isn't it? We want to be able to do the things and provide for our families, and we can only do that if we're earning enough money, if our businesses are thriving and not just surviving. So I have a secret to share with you, a secret that will help you achieve your dreams and get to where you're hoping to go. And that secret is, if you are achieving your dreams and you're helping your clients achieve their dreams, we can rise together and we can all partake in the thriving economy that we are creating. But I also know that for numbers people, human contact can be a bit scary. Sales can be a dirty word, but it doesn't matter what industry you're in or how you are growing your business. Ultimately, what you are is in the business of selling to human people who have human problems and providing solutions to solve those problems. Now, it doesn't have to be scary, and I'm going to show you a couple of tricks to make it a lot less scary and a lot easier to achieve. But just for a moment, let's look at how you build relationships. Now, there's a guy called Desmond Morris, and he wrote a book, Intimate Behavior. And he came to the conclusion that there were 12 stages of intimacy. Now, I know that you're not trying to get to stage 12 with your customers. So just bear with me for a moment. Think about the first time you met your partner, or the first time you fell in love. You noticed each other from across the room. You made eye contact. He came over or she came over and kind of had a little chat up line. You exchanged numbers. You went on a first date. I think you can remember the rest. But the reason I'm kind of sharing this process with you is because ultimately it doesn't matter what relationship, whether it's a romantic relationship, a friendship, or a business relationship, sequence matters. So think back to that time. If you'd have gone on a first date and your date rocked up with a ring ready to propose and name your children, you'd probably have run a mile. And it's no different in your business. What we need to do is we need to be intentional about our customer journey. We need to be sure that we are leading the way and that we know what the different stages are to working with us. We want to create awareness. We want to create engagement. And we want to wow our customers so that they stay with us and start talking about us and promoting us through testimonials or recommendations. One moment, the video is taking a moment. There we go. Left to themselves, customers will get lost along the way. They'll stall out or forget that they'd ever started a journey with you. And that's why you need a customer journey. You need to be able to lead your customers through the process in order to get them to where you would like them to be, so that you are well positioned to be the authority, to be the solution to their problems. So why do we do this? Well, I've said already, we want to lead them. But unless we have a documented strategy, we can't optimize that strategy. We can't optimize that journey. And we can't recognize opportunities to improve or to offer complementary services. But ultimately, what we are there to do is to build trust. Trust that they can trust us with their financial information. Now, many of you will know that talking about finances is really difficult. And in many circles, it's very much taboo. And the fact that you, as their bookkeeper, know more about their financial state than possibly their spouse or family. So you really are a trusted confidant. You know how bad it is or how good it is. You know exactly what they're struggling with. And that puts you in such a prime position to enable you to provide the right advice, to help them navigate this path of running a business. It's hard and it's lonely. And it's really important that you are there for them because they often have nobody else to turn to. But very often I find that this is what customer journeys look like. Everybody knows about awareness and maybe a little bit of engagement, which is your lead generation. It's how you get people through the door, and your Facebook posting and LinkedIn posting and networking and all that kind of thing. Maybe you'll get them onto a list, but most likely you'll have a meeting, offer a proposal with pricing, and they'll sign, you'll do the work, and hopefully they'll get a testimonial. But there's all these other stages in the journey that you've missed out. And Desmond Morris found that if you miss more than two stages in the journey, if you skip more than two stages or steps, you've lost that connection and you haven't built enough trust to proceed to the next step in the journey. So this is more like what a customer journey should look like. You should build awareness, absolutely, and engage them in conversation. And that can start off just with a like or a comment on one of your Facebook or LinkedIn posts. But what you need to do is to be driving them onto an email list so that they subscribe, that they give you their email address. Now, that's the start of that trust relationship. And many of you may still remember back in, was it October, when Facebook had their massive outage. WhatsApp was down, Instagram was down, Facebook was down. Nobody could get hold of anyone. And there were a lot of panicked businesses on that day. And the reason being is that they've built up these audiences. They've built up this list of people that they can communicate with. Granted, they have to pay for it every time they want to communicate with that list. But what happens if Facebook weren't able to get back up? What would have happened to all those businesses? I'm sure you remember the memes of people marking themselves safe or saying, oh, I actually went and did something. That's because we do spend so much time on social media. So it's important that you build your own list. Getting them to convert, getting them to buy your first service, whether it's a cleanup or a regular bookkeeping slot, is essentially equivalent to getting that first date. That's not where it ends. That's your first opportunity to excite them. And let me tell you, that excitement, that relief, that peace of mind when your books are actually up to date. I've been there. It absolutely makes a huge difference. That relief, you don't dread the phone call from the accountant going, hang on, this isn't making sense. Then you look at Ascension. Now, Ascension is where you can offer additional services, and you can basically, that's your cleanups, your monthly retainers, maybe you'd extend it to payroll. This is where you are able to upsell additional services. You need to look at your advocate list, and that is where you get testimonials. Are you actively collecting testimonials from your clients to help show other people that they can trust you? And ultimately, where we want to be is promotion. We want them referring you on. And I saw recently in the Facebook group Somebody saying that they had a client who didn't want to refer them because they were too worried they'd get too busy to actually do a good job for them. Now, we can negate that, and we definitely don't want clients thinking that. But you as a business, in order to grow and to reduce your lead generation spend, we definitely want to put some effort into promotion. But where does the magic hide in the customer journey? I mean, everybody, you've seen the customer journey, you've had the opportunity to think through what you might be using in your own business. But where does the magic hide, and why is the customer journey so important? Well, this is where the magic hides, in the ascend stage. And that's because you've already built your relationship, and it's proven that clients are 77% more likely to buy a new product when learning about it from someone they trust, which clearly they trust you. And they are 16 times more profitable to sell to existing clients. And here's the kicker: 87% of business leaders wish they had more help with decision making. So can you imagine if you were the solution, if you were the reason that they were able to get those 52 days back into productivity because of your expertise and knowledge? Now, I'm sure you're looking at this customer journey and you're thinking, oh my word, that looks like a lot of work. I don't have time for that. I'm too busy doing my work. What you need is a marketing operating system. You are a bookkeeper. You absolutely shouldn't be spending your days learning how to do marketing. Marketing is a full-time job. Ask me, it keeps me busy day and night. And what we really need is to find ways to simplify that process to enable you to do more work, not to give you more work. And so there are 7 core systems that everybody needs in order to build their marketing engine. And that's the attraction system. How do you get leads into your business? How do you attract new customers? How do you nurture them? And that means that when they are attracted, remember we said 22, 27 touch points. How do you keep nurturing them until they are ready to buy? Because some people could take up to a year to 18 months before they're ready to buy from you. How do you stay top of mind? And when they are ready to buy, you need a sales system to get them booked in, schedule an appointment, send them their pre-meeting information, remind them about the meeting to make sure that they show up and you don't end up with no shows. Once they're ready to go and signed on the dotted line, we need to onboard them, collect their details, their login details. All of this can be automated. And then you have a delivery system, which you're really good at. Your finance system, you're way better than I am. And then staffing. How do you start finding the right people to help you run your business, to do a good job, and to increase your capacity? Now, I'm sure that many people in the room have had the experience of looking at the different marketing tools available. And this is only a teeny tiny sample of what's available. However, marketing tools do tend to fall into 3 main categories that, unless you're a marketer, that's what you need to focus on. You need to be able to capture leads, and that's looking at things like landing pages, surveys, forms, calendar booking, ClickFunnels. Many of you will have dipped your toe into the funnel building world. The next thing you need to do is, as I mentioned, you need to nurture these people. You need to automatically message them, keep them up to date with what you're doing. It gives you an opportunity to say, hey, we've got some capacity, especially if you can see someone's almost ready to buy. And then you need to close. And that is that's being able to collect payments, to schedule appointments, to store documents. So there's different tools. Some of you may have come across Pipedrive, Zoho, MailChimp, ClickFunnels, Google Analytics. That's a whole nother world. And there are so many tools that you could have that there's no wonder that most people look at it head in hands thinking, oh my word, I'm not even going to try. because you need email marketing and you need SMS marketing, and maybe you need funnels, a website. But what do you do with the website once you've got it? How do you get people to visit it? And you could spend an absolute fortune. Now, most companies that I've come across are spending between $500 and $2,000 a month on marketing tools. That's almost the cost of an extra person to do the work within your business. And I'm sure you'd much rather the money be sitting there. What you really need is to create time and space in your business. You need the time and the space to wow your customers. And it all comes down to automation. How can you leverage automation to get more time in your business, but still do an amazing job at attracting the right customers, at sifting through and making sure you're not getting nightmare customers, but ultimately to keep your own sanity? Now, I have delved in the marketing tool world for many years, and I'm fascinated by it, but I'm a marketer and I'm a whole other person. But I love seeing how things fit together. But even I have been overwhelmed by the number of tools and the learning that you have to go through on each of those tools. Sometimes it's a drop-down menu, sometimes it's a drag and drop menu. And you really don't have the time to learn all the different tools. So I came across a fantastic solution. For me, it was a dream come true. And I think it could be a dream come true for you too. I found an all-in-one solution. And what this all-in-one solution does is it gives you everything that you need for one monthly price. Now, I'm not selling you the solution. You're welcome to ask about it. But I want you to know that there are ways for you to simplify your marketing. You can have all your conversations, your pipelines, your workflows, your contacts, your funnels, your website, your email marketing, everything that you need to run the marketing engine of your business in one place. Now that alone will save you time. This particular solution comes with done for you templates and workflows. So it is a lifesaver. Now, let's get back to that roller coaster we were talking about earlier. We know that customers are living on this feast or famine roller coaster. I've been there. Some months it used to be we'd be literally like MacDuck. Do you remember DuckTales, where you were swimming in the money? And then there were other times where we were literally like Scrooge, Oliver Twist. Can we have some more, please, just to get food on the table? And this is what it could be like for your business clients. They may well be feeling the same thing. And for many of you in the room, are you going through the same things? Now, something I've learned over the years is the thing that keeps business owners going, SME owners, salespeople, the thing that keeps us going is hope, because that is the only thing stronger than fear. If I had to think about all the things that could go wrong, the likelihood is I wouldn't get up in the morning. But you could well be the solution. You could be the hope that helps your clients get to the next level, to keep going and to find their success. But I don't want you working harder. You already put in all the hours that are available. What you really want is to generate more revenue, not more work. We've all heard the thing, work harder, not smarter. And it comes down to how do you add more revenue into your business without having to take on more work or selling yourself short. So we spoke about the second ingredient, and that was how do you add recurring revenue, passive income into your business? And there's a few different ways that you can do that. And part of putting a recurring revenue stream into your business is looking for opportunities to tap into other people's requirements. So which other types of businesses are targeting the same audience, the same customer base as what you are? And could you be rewarded for introducing your customer base to those solutions? These are the things that you can think about to start looking at ways to grow your business rather than putting in more work. I just want to share a little illustration with you on how that actually looks. Recurring and passive income. So if you have, say, an existing client base of 200, now I've got some clients who have a customer base of 500 to 1,000, and I have other bookkeeping clients who have customer bases below 100. So I've kind of picked a number in the middle. And turnover, you'll know your turnover. So let's say this particular client of mine has 200 existing SME clients. They do a turnover of about £240,000. Apologies, I've used pounds here, but it could just as easily work for dollars. And this client has added an app service that offers them £4 per user per month for 12 months. And that would add £9,600 to their bottom line. They have another app. So the first one is a credit control app. The second one is a cash flow forecaster who also offers a £4 per user per month. And that adds another £9,600 per year. Our marketing system that we offers our partner clients £10 per user per month. And that adds an extra £24,000 a year. That is an increase of 18% on your turnover without any associated costs. Now, what could you do with an extra 18% in turnover with no additional costs, other than the obvious, which is the tax you pay on it? We can't negate that. Think about that for a moment. What could you do in your business? Could you hire more staff? Could you increase your capacity for clients by outsourcing some parts of the work? Could it merely mean a family holiday or two? Could it be Christmas bonuses for your team or for yourself? When last did you get a Christmas bonus? Will it allow you to invest in systems to run your business more efficiently, or invest in marketing to grow your client base? All that merely for partnering with somebody who has the same customer base as you, who have the problems that can be solved by the partner that you're looking at. Now, I've found that the key to successful strategic partnerships and joint ventures is really quite simple. We have to match the problems that our clients have with the solutions that are available. So here's some examples. A credit control app. So we have the Intelligent Revenue app, which matches partners and clients with a solution that reduces late payments. You could use receipt capture, which is like Dex. Cash flow forecasting. I think the company, if I remember correctly, is called Float. You've got payroll. Some of you already use payroll as a solution to add additional services, but through a partnership. Payment gateways. Everybody's going online these days and needing to take online payments, or payment gateways have actually evolved quite significantly in the last 12 months, which allows people to facilitate the transfer of funds, but not necessarily needing to do card payments. And this has become a really interesting area to explore. Obviously, it's embedded finance, and you'll see companies like Uber or Just Eat. They're all using embedded payment gateways in order to facilitate faster payment and distribution. Marketing may seem not an obvious opportunity. However, what it does do is it allows you to offer marketing solutions, but by partnering with a local marketing agency or a speaker, Educational events are great ways to invite your clients. You're offering them value back. And by offering them that value, they may sign up for some services. And as long as you have an agreement in place with the service provider, you could be earning £10, £100 off each new opportunity. Why would that be so attractive? Some of you might be asking. And that's because you yourself know finding new clients can be difficult, and it can be a very expensive little exercise. So finding ways that you can partner and benefit not only helps you, it helps your clients, and it also helps the service provider, the marketing consultant or the tax consultant. These are great ways to kind of build an ecosystem within your local community. But when you're looking at not marketing systems, when you are looking at tools and services to add that you can benefit and use to grow your recurring income, there are 6 elements that I find are important to consider. It will help you choose the right tools and the right services for your business. You want to make sure that they're complementary. A credit control app makes absolute sense. You know your client is struggling with late payments, and this is a solution that will improve their payment rate as well as make life a little bit easier for you. You want to make sure that there is a fair and generous commission structure. Are they giving you £5 per user? Are they giving you a sign-up bonus? What different ways could you leverage the commission structure? And be open to new ideas, and don't be scared to share your own ideas. I would also suggest that you have it in writing to make sure that it's honored no matter what. Done for you marketing. We've spoken a lot in the past half hour about marketing and how difficult it can be and time consuming. So if you're going to use a service or recommend a service, make sure that they're able to offer you some collateral. Make sure they do some marketing on their behalf to your audience, whether it's writing the email that you send out or sending the email for you or plugging you into an automated system. The next thing to look at is support. You definitely don't want to be answering phone calls about lost passwords, login issues, and all that. So make sure the service that you offer are able to deal with the support queries that your customers might come up. And this is a big one for me. Make sure that the service that you're signing up with aligns with your mission. It's important that you feel comfortable that you are not taking advantage of your clients, but that you are actually solving their problem. You're helping them to grow a better business, which ultimately is the impact you want to have on their business and your own business. And that brings me to solves problems. It's a great gauge. What problem do your customers have? What is the biggest problem that you hear from the majority of them or from many of them that you could help to solve that aligns with your mission? And those could be the things we spoke about earlier: credit control, how you can offer cash flow advice, reporting, payroll. Which things are which services and apps can solve your clients' problems? Right. So we've spoken about a lot of different things. So let's just take a moment to recap on what it takes to build a thriving business and how you can tap into your existing client base to achieve that. You need to design your customer journey. You need to show them the way and make sure that you've documented that journey so that you're able to spot opportunities to offer more services and better services and build trust with your customers. You need to automate that journey so they know where to go and you don't have to be the one showing them hand in hand. So using a good marketing system. There are so many marketing systems available. You can either pick and choose your individual required systems or find a system that has everything in one place so you don't have to waste a lot of time learning new skills. And then leverage revenue generating products and services that are complementary to what you offer. This will help you to get off your own roller coaster ride and build your own thriving business. That's a lot of information. So what I've done is, how do we break those 3 key points into steps that you can take this week to move your business forward? Each of these strategies can be 100% effective if you implement them on their own. You can design your customer journey, automate your marketing, and add value to your valued services. So what I've done is I've put together a worksheet for you to help with the customer journey part. You can design the most optimal path to walk your customers through. And what you can do in each of those is map out who you know and which services you are already associated with that you could actually be leveraging to improve your customers' outcomes and improve your bottom line. Automate your marketing. We have a marketing platform that we'd like to offer you. However, find yourself a marketing automation provider if you already know of some. So try a MailChimp, for instance. I think it's free up to 2,000 contacts, and you're able to send out emails to your list. Or you can obviously try our all-in-one platform. Then look at what added value services could you add. Do you know of an app that offers a revenue scheme? If not, I'd like to invite you to consider the Intelligent Partner Program. We could have you up and running with your first revenue generating app in no time. All you need to do is click on the link below for early access, and we'll provide you all the information, no obligations, and you can take it from there. I'm out of breath. But the magic really happens when you take all 3 of these strategies and build them into a powerful business building strategy. They come together, knowing where your customers are going, knowing how to get them there, and then knowing what to offer them when they arrive. So as part of the virtual summit that we are all visiting today, I'd like to offer you the opportunity to join the Intelligent Partner Program, where you can get all the tools you need in one platform without having to duct tape multiple platforms together. You don't have the time. I've already spent the time working it out for you and working out what makes a thriving business tick. So I'm more than happy to share that learning with you. And let's think just for one moment. Can you imagine what the impact will be if you and I are able to help your clients spend more time dreaming up ways to innovate and stop them lying awake worrying about how to survive? What could that mean for your business clients? Well, I believe it is very clear what that means. I believe that we will rise together. We will stand together and change the culture of late payments. We will thrive. We will grow our businesses, and we will rise together. Thank you so much for sharing this last 40 minutes with me. My name's Leanne Scott from Intelligent Revenue. I'd love to see you in the partner portal. Feel free to check us out in the partner booths, the sponsor booths. And if you have any questions, I'm always available on email, LinkedIn, or of course in the chat. Thank you very much, and I look forward to speaking to you soon.